What is going on, ladies and gentlemen? My name is Ty from Ty Drives, and we're back for another POV drive. So I got the GoPro strapped to my head, and we're sitting in a 2022 Audi S7. So what's better than that? This one also has the S Sport package, which gives us some pretty cool upgrades like the four-wheel steering and things like that. So pretty cool performance stuff that added to this vehicle too. So it's a Prestige, got ultra blue on the outside and rotor gray on the inside. And throughout this drive, we're going to take it around to the dead end over here. We'll get a good turning circle test because it has that four-wheel steering, which actually helps out very good in the city and around in the back roads for cornering. Also get it out onto a nice straight road, see how it is at, you know, speeds of 45, 50 miles an hour, wind noise, tire noise, comfort, and things like that. We'll of course get an acceleration clip, see how fast we can get this car up to speed. Also put it into a nice back road, so nice corners for a pretty bumpy road, so we'll slip it into comfort mode and see how the suspension handles the bumps as well as corners. So let's drop it down into drive and set off. Now, I actually made a devoted video of just simply the features that this vehicle has to offer on my channel. So if that's something you're interested in, we kind of take a look at the exterior features, pop the hood, see what it looks like under there, discuss all of the powertrain and things like that. We'll pop the trunk, take a look at the rear seats, and finally just to kind of explain all of the features in the front seats as well. So if that's something you're interested in, definitely take a look at my channel for a dedicated features review video. But for this one, we're just going to focus on driving. So immediately as you set off, you can tell that part of the Prestige trim level is double pane glass, which helps reduce the noise coming from the exterior. So you can already notice that it's very quiet ride in here. Now, a very good test to testing out a vehicle's road noise production is to take it through an automated car wash. Just think about how loud it is in one of those, and the fans and everything hitting the sides of the vehicles, you know, all the brushes and sort of foam material that hangs down. You know, that's a great test to sort of test the noise that this vehicle has, or the noise insulation, I should say, that this vehicle has. And it did very well. I took this through the automated car wash before shooting this video. It was really quiet going through the wind and everything. Very good turning circle, by the way, too, due in part to the four-wheel steering, of course. Now, we are working with rush hour traffic here, so hopefully we don't get too caught up in this test drive. So we'll turn on the lane assist, and I'll kind of give a demo quickly of how that works. I'll just kind of veer out, and it will steer us right back in. Now, it's nothing jerky or anything that'll alert you. It kind of just gently steers you back into the lane once it senses you're getting a little bit too close to either the yellow or the white line. That is, of course, if the vehicle can pick up the lines. And this also has the distance indicator too for the driving assistance features this car has. Very smooth ride. Now, we're working with 21-inch wheels on this vehicle, but yeah, no problem so far with the ride. Audis do a really good job with ride quality, meaning that you really don't feel the road itself. Of course, you could feel the bumps and things like that, but it's the small imperfections that the suspension just kind kind of absorbs and you really don't feel. So virtually no wind noise, a little bit of tire noise because we have almost no sidewalls to these tires at all, but pretty impressive with the lack of noise that this vehicle has. And at this light here, we're gonna pop it into the dynamic mode. Kind of just leave it in the settings that the dynamic mode already has set up, so kind of like a sporty transmission setting, you know, a little bit more noise coming from the tailpipes, a little bit lower suspension from the air suspension this vehicle has. As you can hear already, the engine note has gotten quite a bit louder. Now for the acceleration test, we're going to get it up to 25. We're going to floor it, see how the transmission reacts, and see how fast we can get up to 60. So 60 is quite the quick sprint. I believe the manufactured time 0 to 60 is right around 4.5 seconds, so it's no slouch. And it's quite the heavy vehicle too, so that's pretty good sprint to 60. Now, if you're looking for a bit more performance, of course, there's always the RS7, which I can tell you is quite a bit quicker than this vehicle here. Another thing that happens in dynamic mode is the steering firms up a bit. Now it's still pretty light if you can compare it to other vehicles such as BMWs or Porsches. It's still a pretty light, kind of on the number side to the steering, even in the dynamic mode. But it does weighten up a little bit over the sort of comfort mode and dynamic mode. Or I should say the comfort mode and auto mode. Now this car does have the ability to sort of configure your own mode to the individual here, which you can customize a few different things. If you're paying attention to the screen, kind of just scroll through them. Now, this car produces a really cool exhaust. Now I'm going to switch it into manual, because if we downshift here, you can hear this car produces some crackles and pops. It's just a pretty lively sounding engine. It's a 2.9 liter twin turbo V6, and if you were wondering, 444 horsepower, 442 pound-feet of torque. So quite the lively engine we have here. Quite the upshifts too from this car. You can really feel the four-wheel steering around these tight corners. It really does feel pretty good. Yeah, it greatly reduces the turning circle. You know, it almost feels like a 911 in the corners. The way the rear just kind of rotates around with the rear wheel steering. It's pretty neat. Very cool feeling. It definitely makes this car seem a little bit smaller than it is. Now, since I'm having so much fun in the corners here, I forgot to put the car into the comfort mode so we could test out the comfort of the suspension. I guess we could do it now. But it's still a pretty solid ride. It's definitely very solid, and it actually gets a little bit boaty, so you can feel the air suspension makes a huge difference from the dynamic to the comfort modes. It's really quite the difference. You can definitely feel the steering lightens up a bit, the throttle response isn't as crazy, and it gets a little bit quieter. Really good over the bumps, especially considering the lack of sidewall with the tires and the 21-inch wheels. The engine quiets down quite nicely. You can really kind of barely hear it. You still do hear a little bit of the exhaust note, but if you just kind of want a nice quiet cruise, you know, you just pop it into comfort and you have just that. It's comfortable, it's quiet, and it's just easy to drive. This really is quite the car. I believe the sticker price for this vehicle is right around $96,000, and it is missing a few small things, I believe, such as the wireless charging for your phone due to the semiconductor chip shortage, but no big deal there. So for the heck of it, let's just pop it back into dynamic mode. Get one more little acceleration up the hill. So, just kind of rolling back into our little filming studio here. What are my wrap-up thoughts on the S7 and the way it drives? So, it does drive, it's a lot of fun, this car. But it can also be a nice, quiet cruiser, like I said, when you switch it into comfort mode. You know, the exhaust note really does push you to have some fun with this car. You know, it kind of brings out the little kid in me, the kid that likes the exhaust pops and bangs and things like that, and the crazy upshifts and things. But this car is just a really great all-rounder. You know, is it crazy, rip your face off fast? No. But does it have plenty of power? Of course. You know, 4.5 seconds to 60 is still no joke. But that, you know, if you're looking for more power, of course, the RS7, that is kind of rip your face off fast if you're looking for more power there. But yeah, to wrap up the S7, it's a great all-rounder, great daily driver with a little bit of sportiness added to it. And again, if you made it this far in the video, definitely check out my channel for the dedicated features review. And to wrap up, I hope you have enjoyed the 2022 Audi S7 just as much as I have. I also hope you stay with us here at Ty Drives for more videos just like this one.